Pond,
All right, we're up.
Pennsylvania, here at Pocono Raceway for the Craftsman Truck Series. It's the Millertech Battery 200.
You've got the right car. Now trust it and drive the wheels off this thing.
There was a 9th place finish 2 weeks ago at Michigan International Speedway for Urbane. A 3rd place finish for his driver, Hunter McKinnon. Urbane looking for his first win since Nashville. Just going to do this qualifying real quick and then we'll be off to the truck race. The start of this race had to be moved up. There is a chance of rain today, so NASCAR decided to move this race up to try to avoid it. And Sunday's Cup race might be impacted by rain too, because it looks like it's going to rain Sunday. Tomorrow for the Xfinity Series race, it looks clear. But to potentially avoid the weather, NASCAR has decided to move this race up, and because the track doesn't have lights, that's another factor, because obviously now that daylight savings time has ended, it gets darker earlier now because of winter coming up. So it's just a great call by NASCAR to move this race up by an hour and 45 minutes to ensure that we can complete it.
Top 5 right there. Great starting spot for the race. Good work.
Let's take a look at the results of this session.
All right, so Lane Riggs sits on the pole. Corey Heim to his outside. Then in row 2, it is Urbane and the 44 of somebody. We'll check in a minute.
In all of motorsports. Drivers, start your engine.
It's actually Bailey Curry to the inside of Urbane.
Time to go. Good luck out there.
So it's 80 laps today. It's actually Ross Chastain, correction. But green flag, the Millertech Battery 200 is underway. And again, like we said, it's just a great call by NASCAR to move this one up because of the weather that is potentially going to be.
Stay high. Clear low.
Coming later tonight. Urbane to the inside. Chastain going for the lead. So is Urbane down this hypotenuse. Remember, there's only 3 corners here. It's the tricky triangle.
Clear up top.
Urbane has the lead for the moment.
3 wide. Inside now.
Preferred lane is that inside, but back to the lead goes Urbane, and he'll lead the opening lap after all that. Such a great job by Urbane fighting on that high side, and he's like, I'm not going away. I'm going to continue to fight on this outside, and he came away with the lead with it. Was able to clear Ross Chastain and Corey Heim there as they were 3 wide. Oh, contact though. Urbane going to give up the lead there.
Outside now.
Dang it, guys. Sorry, man. I just got insanely loose there.
One bottom. One
it's all right. Still plenty of race to run. Go catch him. There is damage to the right side of that number 92, but not going to be terminal damage. He's already caught back up to those 3 leaders. I mean, he's still got a little ways to go yet before he's there, but Corey Heim, now the leader. Corey Heim looking to lead at least 2 laps here. That's a nice number 92 Sunoco truck that Team Urbane has there. Urbane's somewhat closing the door on those guys, but still some work to do. Behind Lane Riggs here. This should help him. He's gonna send it to the low of Lane Riggs. Oh, God, a lot of contact there. Lane Riggs is gonna go around.
Caution's out.
And the caution is out for the first time. I think we'll be alright till the end of this stage, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and stay out. So 2 laps have been led by Corey Heim. Get ready for the restart. It's Heim and Chastain on the front row.
10 away. Green, green.
Green flag back in the air.
Hold your line.
Rain diving to that inside. He's going to attempt to go 3 wide here now in turn 1.
1 outside.
Oh, not going to be able to get there that time. Making contact with Chandler Smith. Oh, there's some contact all over the track.
Outside now.
Urbane had to bail to avoid wrecking some trucks there. He already got into Lane Riggs a little too much there.
Clear high.
Dive bomb. Oh, in the back of Chastain.
3 wide. 1 low. Clear, all clear. Clear low if you want it. Inside. Clear low if you want it. Far high. Clear high if you want it. Clear, clear.
He ran it wide open in the turn there. Just tapped the brake. Wasn't a bad little run through the turn there. But you gotta be careful doing that because that's how you can tap the wall and get loose. Gonna make a pass on Lane Riggs here.
Clear up top. Far low.
But Riggs is gonna get back to his inside there.
Clear inside.
Urbane's not going away.
Clear high. One outside.
He makes contact with Ross Chastain. He's in second now. Now he's just trying to chase down Corey Heim here. Heim's getting closer. Urbane sends it to the inside of Heim. It wasn't able to get there, folks. Look at that, though. Urbane did get the wall a little bit, though. That did kill his momentum he was building for the moment, but he's still there.
Fastest lap yet, driver.
He's gonna dive. He's gonna get a run here on Corey Heim.
Outside door.
To his inside.
We're out front, driver. Clear high if you want it.
Urbane has retaken the lead after only leading the opening lap of the race before he got into the wall there.
Outside now. Clear outside.
Remember, there's 6 races to go until the
10 to
playoffs.
go this time.
And the next Craftsman Truck Series race isn't for 4 weeks. The next 3 weeks for Xfinity and Cup, it's Atlanta next week. And then for Cup, just Cup, it's off to Chicago, and then Xfinity and Cup at Sonoma. And then after that is North Wilkesboro, so that's for Truck, ARCA, and Cup only. When we get into next race, there will only be 5 more chances for some of these guys to make the playoffs. Corey Heim is above the cutoff line. And hey, over 10 laps complete in the Millertech Battery 200, and we'll take you side by side. We won't miss a thing. everyone, as we welcome you back to the Millertech Battery 200. Well, tonight we talk playoffs for the NFL and college football. 5-seeded Western Kentucky takes on 12-seeded UCLA, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Fox Tube TV. And then later tonight, just before an all-new episode of GTA 5 on Patrol Live, the 2023 national champion Atlanta Falcons takes on the Carolina Panthers in Super Wild Card Weekend for the NFL. That game will be kicking off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Fox Tube TV. I tell you what, playoff football, almost to the playoffs for NASCAR. It's been a spectacular season across all sports. You know, we got MLB, they're going to continue their season after we get these playoffs kicked off. It's just been an amazing season across football, and at this point, we don't even know who's going to win the championship in both college and NFL. There's been teams that you don't normally see be there at the end, as meanwhile Norm Benning's going to lose a lap here, as the 92 of Urbane has finally found lap traffic. Hey, how about Urbane? Ever since, you know, his unfortunate wreck, I guess you can call it, on lap 2, he was able to retake the lead.
Outside now.
And he's actually doing a solid job here. Got to be careful with Clay Greenfield, though. You don't want to spin him out, but you don't want to be held up by him either, because Corey Heim is just back there. I mean, he's still far enough behind that lap truck that Urbane might have been able to get to the end of the stage, but late in a race like that, you probably don't want to be held up by a lap truck there. Oh, Urbane got in the wall there, though.
Car inside.
He's going to try to pass this 74 on the high side and put him a lap down. Coming to 2 laps to go in the stage. And Urbane's not just looking for his first win since Nashville 3 weeks ago. He's looking for his first stage win since Nashville, too. He took the green and white checker in stage 2 and was unable to win any stages at his hometown track 2 weeks ago, so now he looks to close out stage 1 here. He's been dominant all season long in the stages and winning races. This would be win number 11 on the season. If he's able to hang on later in the race and win it. But right now, your focus shouldn't be winning the race. It should be finishing out this stage.
Car outside. Clear high.
Oh, Tony Breidinger. Little loose, but she saves it. I think there was some contact with the 92 of Urbane as he passed her. Final lap of stage 1 here at Pocono.
White flag.
Corey Roper most likely going to be the last truck to be put a lap down in the stage, so he'll get the free pass to begin stage 2. And there's just something about Urbane wrecking early in the race and coming back to win stages and the race. First 2 races of last season, he was winless, but in race 3 at Vegas for the Craftsman Truck Series, Urbane spun out on lap 1 and went on to win that race to punch his ticket to the playoffs for his first win that season. And then he spins out in the championship race there last season, and then comes back and wins the Truck Series championship. Fun fact, in his first win of the season at Las Vegas, he also won stage 2, but today at Pocono, he's going to come off of turn 3. Yes, turn 3. Gonna go all the way to the bottom of the track and win stage 1.
Baby, that's a stage win right there.
Way to rebound, guys. Way to rebound. So he's gonna have to race his way from farther back in the field, back to the lead. But stage 1 win for Urbane.
Pit road is open. Let us know if you want to change this strategy up. Here we come, fellas. Be ready.
So here's the pit stop for Urbane.
Coming to the green.
Oh, a lot of people pitted. So Urbane's only gonna restart where he started. It's gonna be Corey Heim with the lead. So it's Heim and Chastain. Basically, it's the same top 4 as the race that started, just in different positions, except for the 92. If everybody, green flag back in the air. There was 20 laps in stage 1,
20 to go.
and there's 20 laps here in stage 2 as well.
Stay high.
Urbane looking for a chance to potentially make it 4 wide going into turn number 1 here.
Clear high if you want it.
Way up the track he goes there.
Car inside.
Remember, he did that on the very first lap too, but look at what he's doing.
Outside.
Going down the hypotenuse, he's got some momentum.
3 wide. Outside. Great job. You got the lead.
Lane Riggs going to the inside,
Clear low if
but
you
not
want
going to be able to get the lead there.
Clear outside.
While they were battling, I think the 92 got Corey Heim in the wall. He did lose some track position there. Urbane's going to lead lap 1 of this stage. Now, he led all but 6 laps in stage 1. So this time, can he go mistake-free? Potentially lead more laps here in stage 2. He got in the wall, got to get off that wall quickly. That's going to help Lane Riggs catch up a little bit. But Riggs is going to lose time off of turn 3 there. It's just, Urbane is just so much better off of turn 3 than everyone else. So there's 80 total laps in the race. Stages 1 and 2 each had 20 laps. The end of stage 2 will officially be halfway through the race. Right now it's looking like clear. Doesn't look like weather's going to impact the race at all as of right now, but we're going to pay attention to that because like we said, NASCAR did move this race up because of the possibility of rain.
Amazing lap driver.
We're going to continue to monitor that. Yeah, it's still clear right now. They say there's a possibility of it later. That's why NASCAR said, you know what, well, originally this race was supposed to begin at 2:30, but we're gonna have to move it up just to play it safe. And you can't have it later tonight because obviously the track doesn't have any lights. So it's just a great call by NASCAR to say, hey, you know, we're gonna have to run this race earlier. And, you know, unfortunately some people might not get to watch it, but NASCAR did mention that, you know, if you had a ticket to this race and you're unable to watch it, come on out for the Xfinity or Cup Series race. Cup Series race might be happening on Monday, but they said come out for one of those races if you're unable to make it to the Truck Series race. So just a great way of NASCAR, you know, trying to show that they do appreciate their fans, you know. Like, hey, we realize you spent money on this, and, you know, we know that, you know, now moving it up, you know, you might not be able to make it, but hey, there's still 2 more races this weekend. Why don't you come to one of those instead? Continues to sit out front over Lane Riggs. And, you know, it takes mistakes to learn the limits on the track. Urbane made a mistake, lost the lead for 6 laps, was able to get it back. But look at what he's doing now. And then, of course, you know, you had the unfortunate incident with Lane Riggs. Besides maybe the contact with Corey Haim, there hasn't really been, you know, too much chaos on track. There's only 2 cautions in this race. The incident where Lane Riggs went for a spin after contact from the 92 and to end stage 1. Still a lot of racing to go. Obviously, there's still a potential for cautions. We know we're going to get one to end this stage, but you just wonder when the next caution's going to be. And, you know, you want to be mindful, because if you're these drivers, you know, after stage 2, it has to be after stage 2. You want to try to be towards the front, because if the caution comes out for rain and NASCAR determines they can't dry the track by a decent time, then you want to be in the lead. But right now, you're just thinking, let's get in the top 10 at least for stage points, you know. Or, you know, let's put ourselves in position to where if the caution comes out for rain and we're not halfway through and we have to restart, let's put ourselves in a good spot to roll off for when we do get back underway. Because if it started raining now, realistically, there would be enough time to dry the track. The track would be dry by 3:30. So then you could resume the race at 3:30. But once we get to 2:30, you know, then the track would be dry at 4:30. But if let's say you're only 8 laps into stage 2, you don't have enough time to finish the race before darkness. So I mean, it's just one of those things, you know. It would have to realistically start now in order for us to be able to finish this race today. But right now it's, you know, looking great. I mean, you got, you know, we were able to get through stage 1, and all we have to do is get through stage 2, and then we'll be halfway through this race. But with the way it's looking, like I said, it's, you know, we're looking like we're going to be able to run this thing to the checkered flag. But it's just the drivers, you know. You got to be ready to put yourself in position to make that evasive move to try to be the leader. That way, if it does happen, you know, you get the win. Especially one of these guys, you know, who aren't already guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. You got a driver like Grant Enfinger. He took the checkered flag at Michigan, But NASCAR said his win wouldn't count for the playoffs after a bunch of contact and wrecking a bunch of trucks for the lead. So Grant Enfinger still below the cut line despite having a win. He has to win another race, or at least point his way in the playoffs. And right now he's just not running too great today that we know of, because he's not towards the top 5. So I mean, you know, where's he at on the track? What a season it's been for Urban. Ever since his rookie year, he's been able to average over 10 wins each season. There's just something that team does that others should take notes from. Urban catching lap traffic again. This time he has more time to lap more trucks. 10 laps complete of 20 in stage 2 in the Millertech Battery 200, and we'll take you side by side. You won't miss a thing. Urban continues to lead here in Long Pond. NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Racing from Pocono Raceway is presented by Urbane Woodworking and Time Gap Treasures.
5 to go.
Urbane continues to lead with 5 laps to go here in stage 2, looking to sweep the stages. And just a reminder, Connor Zilish is driving the number 42 Nice Motorsports Silverado this week because 2 weeks ago at Michigan, Matt Mills intentionally crashed the number 10 of Hunter McKinnon, and NASCAR didn't like that, so they suspended him for this race. So Connor Zilish is aboard that truck this week. He just went a lap down not too long ago. I tell you what, that's great. That is great practice for Connor Zilish there, putting him in a truck before the Xfinity race. You know, obviously won here before, but a little more practice never hurt anybody.
One outside. Clear up top.
Urbane's got the top up to the top 20 lapped. Corey Heim has raced his way back to second.
You're all clear.
Urbane has led every lap but 6 of them.
Car outside.
Oh, Urbane went in the grass to get around Tyler Ankrum there.
Clear
That's
outside.
not something you see every day. A pass in the grass, are you kidding me? With 3 laps to go in stage 2. That's something you'd think you'd do for the lead. He just passed him in the grass. I tell you what though, in this final stage, since there'll be 40 laps, Urbane potentially will be able to get around a lot more trucks.
Car low.
There's Brandon Jones, also great practice for him for tomorrow's Xfinity race. Racing for Tricon Garage here at Pocono and almost turned
Car high.
the 92 of Urbane,
Clear high if you want it.
but that would have been on the 92 right there. He kind of came down, trying to make contact with him, almost spun himself off the bumper. What a save by the 92 though.
2 to go this time.
2 to go, stage 2. Can't make that mistake again. You cannot spin yourself off the bumper of another truck. You spin yourself out, it's not going to take that long for Lane Riggs to catch up to you, who took over second again. $179 miles an hour down the hypotenuse. The 92 was clocked at.
Car low.
Final lap of stage 2.
1 to go. Clear low. Car high.
Norm Benning now 3 laps down. Same with Clay Greenfield. Yeah, and then Costner,
Outside now.
Andres Perez de Lara. Now at least 1 lap down. Might have a chance to get his lap back. No. Urbane's gonna block him. That means there'll be 15 trucks or 16 trucks on the lead lap for the final stage. Green and white checkered.
10 points right
Somebody
there.
hit the
Good job,
wall,
Brad.
but Urbane will sweep the stages here at Pocono. this is the third caution of the race.
Pit road is open.
We'll have some pit stops and then we'll get the final stage underway.
You want any tweaks to this strategy? Pitted now, fellas. Here we come.
So here we go. 40 laps to go. Urbane's going to keep the lead off of pit road. How about that?
Be ready.
Off turn 3 they come. Flagger has the green flag in his hand, and we're back to trucking here at Pocono with 40 laps to go.
Stay low. Stay low. Clear outside.
He's going to go to the high side here, but he's going to maintain the lead for now.
Clear low.
Going to maintain the lead off of turn 2 there. Or turn 1 there, correction. Now we can say turn 2. Corey Heim takes over second place. How about Stuart Friesen up there to fourth? You know, one thing I wish raced here this season was the ARCA cars. It was just so cool watching the ARCA cars race here at the Tricky Triangle. Hopefully they'll be back next season. But that is one thing I wish we got to watch this weekend as well. But we got Truck Series racing early Friday afternoon at the Tricky Triangle. Xfinity Series racing tomorrow. And then either Sunday or Monday we'll have Cup Series racing here at the Tricky Triangle. Xfinity and Cup both have 10 races to go until they start their playoffs. We got 5.5 races to go until we start the Craftsman Truck Series playoffs. Regular season finale, Richmond. Urbane looking to win his 6th consecutive Truck Series title. What a beautiful sight of the Pocono Mountains we have. It's just, this is such a cool racetrack to come to. This and the Irish Hills of Michigan, the sight you can see outside the racetrack is just so cool when you come to both of these places. Obviously, we'll have some cool sights over the next couple weeks. We got trucks competing at the Glen a few weeks down the road. Got North Wilkesboro, you know, next week. This will be the very first time for this league that the trucks will hit the track there at that short track. Obviously, IRL NASCAR has been back there for 3 seasons. I believe The Rock is coming up too. That's kind of cool to see that NASCAR is back there. Closing the door on 30 to go. Still got a few laps to go before we're there, though. We will have to do one more pit stop before the end of this race, possibly 2. I imagine they're gonna try to stretch this thing as far as they can go, though. But if the caution comes out and everyone pits, you gotta pit with them. Traffic ahead. Craftsman maintaining the lead. Every few laps it's going to be important to check the fuel here. The crew chiefs and spotters, or the crew chiefs mostly, are paying attention to that. I'm telling you what, if you're Urbane, I want you to continue to keep damage to a minimum here. Because let's say we get a couple laps shootout to the finish, you don't want to be too far back in the field where it takes you out of contention for the win, so keep damage to a minimum if you can. And that truck still looks good right now. As long as he doesn't get too much damage on it, he might not even have to fix it. Obviously, he scraped the wall a little bit there a couple times. Doesn't look like it's affecting him though, so he shouldn't really have to fix anything as long as he continues to run a great race. You know, like he scraped the wall there a little bit. That's okay, but you don't want to full on slam into the back of somebody.
Inside now.
You know, you don't want to have somebody hit you in one of the quarter panels or something. You just want to keep running a good race. He got off the throttle late there, but I believe it was to get around that guy, because obviously remember that time he got sandwiched between Rajak, the roof, and the wall. Which, I'm sorry, but I don't understand. If you see a truck's about to lap you and they're coming up fast, I don't think I would go to the high side and try to block them. That's how you make people mad. So you gotta be careful doing that. With 30 laps to go, we will take you side by side one final time. You're watching the Millertech Battery 200 Craftsman Truck Series racing from Pocono here on Fox Tube TV. Welcome back to the Millertech Battery 200 Craftsman Truck Series Racing from Pocono Raceway. Ooh, couple contacts with the wall there for the 92 of Urbane. But he keeps the truck under control. We will stay green. We have 20 laps to go, closing in on those pit stops.
20 to go.
Estimated about 10 laps of fuel left. So I think around lap 65 would be a good time to start thinking about pitting. Good news for Urbane is he doesn't have much damage on that truck, so I wouldn't worry about the damage. I would just worry about getting your tires and your fuel and getting back out there and closing this one out. Urbane stayed down there in the grass. There is no out of bounds here, so that is not against the rules for him to go below there to pass trucks. In fact, it's common at Pocono for them to get a little bit on the apron there.
Clear up top.
I wouldn't be surprised though if the lead fans moves like that in the future.
Change up the strategy and we'll do the work. Alright, bring it in and pit this time.
And from what we're hearing, it looks like Urbane is going to pit this time.
The yellow's out.
And he spun it around. That's going to bring out the caution. Now that's going to actually... That's actually going to be a good thing. He got on the brakes too early and then tried to accelerate immediately, and that's what led to it. But Urbane's going to keep the lead. Back to green we go.
We lost the lead. Let's get it back. Stay low. Out in front. Nice job. Clear high if you want it.
Oh, Chastain. Oh.
Clear inside.
Urbane got in the inside or outside wall there. Chastain looking to lead. There is some contact there. People almost got wrecked.
Outside door. Great job. You got the lead. Clear high.
Urbane clears for the lead and will lead the lap after all that. He's got a little more damage now than he had before, but it should be alright. He's got about 30 laps of fuel. Everyone should have about 30 laps of fuel in those trucks, so unless if we start to get some late race yellows, as that most recent was the fourth of the race, correction. Then they might start to pit. Well, look at Urbane. I mean, he was trying to get to pit road, but misjudged what corner he should start slowing down at, then try to get back on the accelerator and spun himself out. That brought out the caution. So that's a mistake, you know. Obviously, it kind of worked in his favor. He was able to get the pit stop he needed, and he was able to keep the lead. But unfortunately, it's a disadvantage too, because he had to start with the pack right there, and he was deep into lap traffic there. So, I mean, it was an advantage, but kind of a disadvantage too. Michael, what is your report down there in the pits? Yeah, we were listening to Urbane's radio after that, and he said, I just completely misjudged it. That's on me. Sorry, guys. That's not really something we've done before, but I mean, I don't know what I was thinking, but unfortunately, we can't focus on that now. We got to focus on winning this race. And that's the right attitude to have, right? You can't focus on a mistake that you made now. Your focus was getting on pit road and exiting with the lead. You did that, but then you had a 3-wide battle for the lead. Almost another caution almost came out. And you just got to focus on, you know, closing this one out. You got 11 laps to go here. So that's your focus, finishing this race. Smith, good run to third there. We'll see if we can get some more yellows, and maybe some of these guys up there in the top 5 can get up there and contend. You got Stuart Friesen up there. I'm sure he'd like a chance to get up there and contend.
10 to go now.
10 laps to go. Urbane is not safe until he takes that white flag under green, and even then he's not really safe either. But he is safe in a way where if the caution comes out after he takes that white flag under the green, as long as he's the leader, the next flag ends the race, so the caution comes out, he'll win. But after he takes the white, unless if the caution comes out, he's not safe until he makes it all the way back around to that checkered flag in first. So you have to go mistake-free here, because you're going to have less than 10 laps to go at the line. Just 9 laps remain here in the Millertech Battery 200. Urbane continues to lead. And what a thriller it was watching those guys battle 3 wide for it. Between Riggs, Urbane, and Chastain. Those guys really put on a show. Unfortunately for Riggs, he fell back there. Hopefully not too far back, but he fell back there. Chastain was able to stay up in second, and then you got Urbane, who was able to retake the lead and keep it. Urbane wants to start putting some of these lap trucks between him and the leader. He's going to want to do a bunch of them. That way there's room for error. What a nice day it was for Craftsman Truck Series Racing. Fun fact, folks, if we didn't have to start this race almost an hour earlier, the race would have just went green 4 minutes ago, so... What a day it's been here in Pocono. We still got some laps to enjoy with you guys. We got 7 at the line. Urbane looking for his 11th win on the season. His first win since he won at Nashville 3 weeks ago. He's got 7 more laps. Ross Chastain, nowhere near him, but if he spins out or hits the wall hard enough, that gap is going to close very quick. Caution comes out, that gap is going to close. So Urbane wants to make it around to this white flag. He's still got a few laps to go before he's there, but he's going to... his goal right now is to make it to that white flag under green before the caution comes out. Flagger has the 5 to go signal in the air. Urbane is getting the 5 to go signal.
5 to go this time.
Just 5 laps remain here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Less than 5 to go now. Contact there with the wall and
Stay high.
the 2 truck at Denison.
You're all clear.
We're being finally able to get around them. That's not what Urbane wants either. You don't want to be held up by a lap
1 high.
truck.
Clear high. Clear all
Because
clear.
that's going to allow Chastain to get around those other lap trucks and close the gap on you. 3 laps to go. That might not seem like a lot, but that is plenty of time for Chastain to make a move on Urbane if he gets held up or makes a mistake. Irvine, the defending winner of this race. Looking to win another one. And he's just a couple laps away from doing it. Chastain has to hope the caution comes out now. That's his only hope. Irvine can just cruise to victory lane if it doesn't. Connor Zilish filling in for Matt Mills there in 26, going to lose another lap. White flag, 1 lap to go, presented by Irvine Woodward. A top 10 finish at his hometown track 2 weeks ago. And despite a couple mistakes, still was able to get up front and lead laps today. He's led every lap but 6 of them.
Outside door.
He's going to lap another truck. That's Timmy Hill. Ooh, scrapes the wall there off of turn 2. Off of turn 3 for the final time. To the checkered flag, Irvine wins the Millertech Battery 200. Heck yeah, boys!
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Thank you! Great run today.
And make some noise for the winner of today's NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race.
What a great run by that crew today.
As the session comes to a close, let's take a look at the results.
So it was a top 5 finish for Lane Riggs after all. Oh, it's 6th place finish for Grant Enfinger, who last week thought he was a playoff contender until he got the penalty. So that was kind of an unfortunate ending to his weekend, but he's actually gonna get closer to getting above that cut line. He still sits below it, but he's closer now than he was before. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. I guess we will just have to do it in a qualifying session.
Here we go, driver. We're up. Okay, settle in, breathe deep, and make it count. On your toes now.
Gonna hit a Polish victory lap. down. And standing by, waiting, is Regan Smith. Well, Urbane, you had to overcome a few things. You lost the lead for 6 laps early in the race after you smacked the walls there on the hypotenuse of this track. First of all, congrats on the win, and how did you do it? Well, first of all, I just want to say congrats, you know, to everyone at the shop. You know, it's a team effort, right, getting these wins. So, congrats to them as well. Shout out to Sunoco, Universal Technical Institute, Advanced Auto Parts, Hellman's, JBL, Kubota, Mobile One, Advent Health, WeatherTech, all the sponsors. You know, we couldn't do this without you guys. Just an amazing day for us. I mean, obviously, like you said, we had to overcome a mistake there, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's not about the mistakes you make, it's about how you overcome them. And we were able to overcome them. You know, shout out to Corey Heim, Chastain, you know, Lane Riggs, all those guys giving us a race, you know, fighting with us there. Ultimately, in the end, we were just the better truck, and yeah, feeling great. You know, obviously, I would say I'd enjoy the 4 weeks off, but I still got Xfinity and Cup to run over those 4 weeks, so we'll be back in the truck at North Wilkesboro, potentially looking to make it 2 in a row, and yeah, pretty cool to get the win here at Pocono, you know. And shout out to everybody that was able to come out, you know, and join us when we had to start this race a little earlier than usual. All right, back to you, Adam Salamander. Thank you, Regan. And with that in mind, for Regan Smith, our entire crew, I'm Adam Salamander saying so long from Pocono. I'll see you for the Xfinity race tomorrow, but if you're looking for another Craftsman Truck Series race, it won't be until North Wilkesboro, and that's a few weeks away because Xfinity and Cup has this track, then they have Atlanta next week. Cup has Chicago. I'm pretty sure Xfinity has Canadian Tire. Let me just double check. And then, or no. So here's how it is. Xfinity and Cup race here. They race at Atlanta. Xfinity has an off week, the week the Cup Series races at Chicago. And then they both race at Sonoma. And then Xfinity will have an off week when the Truck, Cup, and ARCA Menard Series race at North Wilkesboro. So, next Truck Series race, couple weeks from now. With that in mind, so long from Pocono.